And the game is now beginning. Players are selecting their spawn locations. It shouldn't take long. They have a single spawn location each. The exact same spawn locations you saw last time, because we're all about fairness here at the AbleGamers PA Tournament Society.
AbleGamers PA Tournament Society. When
did
this come up?
Well, we've been doing it for a number of years now. We haven't actually come up with a name for the organisation yet, Marshall.
The AbleGamers Tournament Society. Maybe we should make this a thing. We should make that a thing. I like that.
Well, so the players now will be eyeing up their spawns. This is the exact same system that you have just seen in the previous game. For those of you who are new, this is the Planetary Annihilation 2020 AbleGamers Tournament. This is a charity tournament where viewers to the stream can make donations, and the units will appear in-game for the player of their choice. And the players are spawning in now.
Players are spawning in indeed, and for those who haven't been around, I am Marshall and I'm joined by the Wrong Cat, and this is Game 2. We've got 4 planets in this system. Square 1 is what we're looking at the moment, and we're currently looking at Sinnocence, too busy typing in chat to actually be doing anything with his commander there. Moving around, we've got that son of a broom in yellow going straight for a vehicle factory, changing his colour a little bit there. I think he's a little bit confused about which team he's playing for, and getting up some economy as well. Perhaps he's thinking of getting off-world really nice and early. Moving around, still back up to the North Pole. Again, we have Qatar, who I was just talking about there before. Again, vehicles into air. Going a very 1v1 build. So perhaps here still already showing a lack of adaptation to FFAs. Get those donations in for Qatar, folks. Through the links in chat, as people will post them, I'm sure. And make sure it is match B that you are donating to. All of these players, and lastly, Nimzo Dragonlord, are all competing for those donations that will drop in real time after 5 minutes of game.
I should note, by the way, that we as casters are not biased in our pleas for donations. Not at all. We're not biased towards any single player. What we are biased towards is the effect that will generate the most explosions, the most carnage, the most chaos in these games. And therefore, we're always going to root for the underdog to try and bring them back in so they have a chance to slap down anyone who gets too far ahead. And we've seen some early scouting now. These players, very important to scout and find out where your opponent is expanding to.
I'm just going to interrupt you here. We've already got, this is Nimzo here, showing quite how good he is at the game. He had a Firefly, which is a scout plane, and he's got a boombot. This will snipe some fabricators. This is a classic 1v1 strat, and that was actually, I'm not sure if you saw that right at the end there, stream, but Sinnocence split up his fabricators, moved one of them back towards the boombot as a sacrificial lamb to make sure that boombot didn't take out both of those fabricators, setting Sinnocence back quite a hefty time in this game. And in a 1v1, if he'd lost both of those fabbers, that would have been massive.
Losing fabricators early in the game in Planetary Annihilation is absolutely catastrophic, because at the beginning of the game you're looking to expand your economy by placing these metal extractors down on the metal deposits, by building these energy generators anywhere you can find them to generate additional resources with which to build. And losing fabricators means that your economy will continue producing, but you're not going to be able to expand your production to match that. So all of the stuff that you've just spent all that time building is going to be making resources which you just can't use. And that generates what's known as float in Planetary Annihilation. And that is where you're producing resources that will never ever come back to you. It's completely wasted. And so in a 1v1 situation, that puts you on the back foot, and that can really cripple your game. Thankfully, in this situation, we have you guys, the viewers, to get our players out of sticky situations. If you get a player knocked onto the back foot in the first 2 minutes, that can easily be rectified, as after 2 minutes, our 2 puppet masters will begin dropping in donations that you have paid for. And early in the last game, we saw kernels being used to great effect. Those are tier 2 fabricating units and combat units. Very powerful and very useful, versatile instruments of war. That means that players can expand onto other planets. They can also push aggressively into their opponent's bases. And they can take out, again, fabricators in the early game. And that can really help to change the flow of the game altogether.
There's a lot going on in the orbital space. Meanwhile, we can see that son of a broom in yellow sending a fabricator to Hello Neighbor, which we'll go and have a closer look at in a moment. Sending scouts to Hello Neighbor as well. And we can also see here in blue, Sinnocence has moved his commander in an Astraeus, an orbital transport, also to Hello Neighbor. Everyone seems to want to go to Hello Neighbor. Why is that, do you think?
I mean, I can take a fairly good guess. If we look up in the top right, you'll see two numbers next to each of the planets. The top number indicates the radius of the planet, or its size, relative to one another. So the square one is by far the largest in the system. Hello Neighbor, however, second to square one in terms of the amount of metal it can produce. And metal, of course, is the key bottleneck resource for any player's economy. So they're looking to take control of that planet early on and take advantage of all that juicy metal. Taking a commander, of course, off onto a brand new world straight away is a risky strategy, especially if your opponents are also in the orbital layer. The Astraeus is quite a vulnerable unit, and if he's carrying your commander, you're in big trouble, because in Planetary Annihilation, the commander is the key unit. All of these players are playing to destroy one another's commanders, and once that commander is gone, that's it. You lose. Good day, sir. You are out of the game.
And it should be noted on Hello Neighbor, this could be an interesting battleground. That son of a broom using these orbital scouts in a sort of gimme walk, as it were. Is that the word for it? Where you all sort of shimmy along in a line, having a look at the floor for a little bit. That son of a broom now knows that Senescence is here with a commander and not much of a base. Meanwhile, that son of a broom has also moved his commander onto this planet and is already building a base as well. He wants to get over here, and he's got quite a sizable force here. If he moves that in right now, he could probably do some significant damage to this commander or this base, because there's not any defensive units here. And actually, if we look back at square one very, very briefly before going around the rest of the system, Senescence, because of that having to split your attention everywhere, his old base is skeleton crew right now. He's not really bothering with it. It's got some nice economy for him, but it's not getting anything else, and we're getting some donations arriving.
That's a very early donation to Nimzo. That's some nice economy there for him. These T2 metal extractors are able to produce twice as much as their tier 1 counterparts. So instantly, if you look in the top left hand corner here, the economy of Nimzo Dragonlord being thrown up into the blue as he's struggling to spend all this economy that he's suddenly been given access to. Lots of donations coming in for Nimzo, and it's all economy. Look at those numbers. That is absolutely beautiful. However, interesting to note that he's actually not even keeping pace with Katal, who has been able to produce that much all by himself just by expanding and placing metal extractors all around the start planet. Very interesting to note that he's not actually made an attempt to get off-world. He's looking to contest square one.
Yeah, Katal certainly is looking to shore up her defenses over here. She's got so many fabbers building things. Usually in 1v1s you don't want to be using air fabbers because they are really vulnerable. But if you reckon that people are going to be getting off world, just expanding on the starting planet is a really viable and a strong strategy, as is being shown here. Katal staying toe-to-toe in the economy game with all the other players. And in fact, it's Senescence who's falling behind here. And over on Hello Neighbor, he did receive a kernel, which we looked at briefly there. That's going to give him that extra little bit of build power. He's also received a Praetorian, which is a Legion faction kernel, which allows him to build other types of units, which could potentially help him stave off any aggressions from that son of a broom on this planet.
Those donations are pouring in thick and fast now. Nimzo, what have you seen, Marshall?
I'm just gawping at these donations as Phoenix just dropping in. Senescence suddenly has quite a potent air force on Hello Neighbor. He did have some bombers doing some raiding, but now he can really defend those bombers. So whoever donated those Phoenix, good job.
Senescence did need those donations just there. It's interesting to note over on square one, a kernel has been dropped in for Nimzo. I'm not sure whether this is Nimzo donating to himself. That does seem like something he would do. But he's now got lots of economy, and importantly, he's got the kernel there, which is going to allow him to... Oh, that's another donation for Nimzo. 10 landmines over on the one with the laser. Interesting placement, and that's just killed off all those boom bots.
Oh, dear.
Oh, that's got to be a troll placement there. There's more landmines being placed on the one with the laser. The Puppet Master is having some fun with these mine donations here, folks.
That's right, and it's entirely at the Puppet Master's discretion where these go. Let's have a look at That's No Moon Moon, which is a moon.
But it's not a moon. It's a moon.
But it's a moon, but it's not a moon. A moon is something entirely different. Let's not go into moons. Moons, now that's our game, right? Over here, we can see Nimzo with a kernel, keeping it kind of still at the moment. Again, you've got to stretch all of your attention across an entire solar system. Nimzo hasn't quite got here yet. Katal has a teleporter just opposite where she can move some units straight through using some hearts in chat, trying to get some sympathy, trying to survive a little bit longer in a game. It's a common strategy. If you think you're not so good, start spamming hearts and smiley faces, and please don't go for me. That's what I do. That's how I do okay in FFAs. I don't win them, but I do okay, right?
And that Son of a Broom now really aggressively expanding over on Hello Neighbor, and we're starting to see the effect of that up in the top left on the economy tab. That Son of a Broom now pulling away in the lead above Nimzo, despite all of Nimzo's donations, and more donations now coming in for Nimzo. We've got booms and kernels also appearing back on square one. There's no reason in my mind that Nimzo should not have this planet on lockdown right now, but Katal is absolutely holding her own here. She's got some tier 2 air up and running, and she's built all of that herself as far as I can tell without being donated. So she could really give Nimzo a run for his money on this planet right now.
Nimzo's just received some Imperators. We haven't seen these before. These are orbital motherships. When they get in range, they will start dropping drones down into the lower layers, and they'll really start ravaging at bases beneath, especially if that base beneath doesn't have any anti-orbital. And they can just sit there with impunity, just dropping drone after drone after drone, just smiling and waving like the nasty things that they are. Donate some stuff to Katal though, because looking at her base, she doesn't really have a huge amount of anti-orbital. She has some Avengers there, but she doesn't have any ground-based anti-orbital. And certainly she could do with a bit more ground-based stuff anyway, because why not? It's the Hunger Games in space. Why would you not donate some units?
I'd say Nimzo's got some very, very benevolent donators going on right now. There's a lot of units pouring in for Nimzo right now, and I'm not seeing a lot for the other players here. I'm desperate to see some donations, particularly for Katal right now, because she has really worked hard expanding all the way across this planet, and by the looks of things she's about to be kicked off by some very generous donations on Nimzo's behalf in this game. Although she's using those horseflies, those very A-10 Thunderbolt looking planes, screaming across the planet now, taking out all of Nimzo's metal expansions, now threatening the tier 2 expansions that were donated by some generous person, maybe Nimzo himself, we don't really know.
Yeah, she's using those really well right in the base there. We've gone into point of view cam for these horseflies. Running away now, they don't want to overstay their welcome, but even on the way back, they can do some nice work there.
And that has really taken Nimzo's economy down a couple of notches. You could actually put those right in the middle of those bases, because I don't see a lot of AA there from Nimzo. I don't think he's really very well equipped to deal with that particular threat from horseflies.
He did have an air force, but Katal just wiped it out with her earlier air force. It has been reduced now, but still very strong indeed.
We've got some boom bots on the move. Nimzo using some donated boom bots over on square one, but they are about to come under the fire of those bumblebees. That is absolutely devastating. They're going to follow them around, pick them all off one by one. There is no support for those whatsoever.
Brutal.
Good night.
Good night, Irene, indeed. And running away back to the safety of the base, Katal doing some really good work there in defense of her realm. Let's have a look around the rest of the system, though, because we haven't really been checking up on it. Although that being said, let's leave that for a little bit, because there's some Imperators moving. I see some Imperators, and Katal has as well. We see her mobilizing her orbital fighters here. In they come.
Are we seeing any umbrellas being built by Katal? Yes, we are. She's seeing them and she's reacting to them. Those Avengers are actually going to probably pick off at least one of those two, or maybe not.
Oh, they haven't focused it down fast enough.
The umbrellas now being rushed up. All these fabricators now rushing up umbrellas to try and deal with this threat. Here come the drones.
Ah, there they go, right down onto the ground layer.
Unfortunately, the air from Katal, they're just picking off the drones the moment they enter the atmosphere. They need to stay away from the orbital cannons of the Imperator, and as long as they do so, they can pick off those drones when they appear.
Oh, we have 2 Praetorians for Katal. Lovely donation there. Thank you very much, whoever that was. That really bolsters her build power. But now that we've got a little bit of a lull, let's definitely look around the rest of the system.
So over on Hello Neighbor, the Son of a Broom expansion over on Hello Neighbor has been absolutely eradicated by Senescence. Senescence has taken over Hello Neighbor in its entirety. There are a couple of metal extractors remaining, but the planet now on lockdown with this Air Force on global patrol. It's going to be a big mission for any of the other players to get into that planet. Meanwhile, on That's No Moon, that Son of a Broom has been pushed back onto there, having been eradicated from Hello Neighbor, and is now being rounded on by Nimzo. Thankfully, his commander is not there either, but he's attempted to expand onto 2 different planets and been kicked off of both. I've found out where he's actually put most of his efforts, though. It's back on the one with the laser. That's where he's put his commander. That's where he's focusing most of his build power.
He's got some lasers there to try and get rid of Qatal's egress there. We've got some air factories from Qatal that tried to do some stuff. We can see some fabricators there that haven't been doing a huge amount. Again, just shows the pressure on the attention span across all of these planets. It takes a lot of practice. You can't join this game and expect to be a multi-planet master. It just doesn't work like that, especially if you're used to 1v1s. Orbital play in a free-for-all scenario is an entirely different beast.
Looks like we've missed some action over on square one. Nimzo says in chat, there goes the power, which means I suspect that Qatal has come in there and done some damage.
I'll ping it for you. It's right about there.
There was all of his tier 2 power there, I think. All of his tier 2 power generators. Look at his economy now, down to 50% efficiency. He is using way more power than he's able to produce. So all of that metal he's producing is currently going to waste because he just doesn't have the energy to use it.
It's just so difficult to balance your economy when you've got so many people on all of your borders to watch out for. But here, though, I think Nimzo is really starting to see an opportunity. Qatar's commander in the danger zone, out in front of the base here.
How much AA has she got in that force?
Sorry?
How much AA has she got in that force? Does she have enough? There comes a donation in the nick of time for Qatar. What is it?
Boombots! Boombots!
Oh no, boombots, and there are docks in there, so they're getting absolutely picked off by the small rapid-firing base. That base is in peril. There's a nuke being rushed up by those...
Qatal's commander is on the wrong side of that teleporter. She needs to keep running away, otherwise she's going to be in dire straits, which she already is, and she has all of these fabricators, but they're kind of useless. She has a Praetorian putting in some work there. Some more donations. Landmines coming in on top of this force. Bang, and a few vehicles are gone. That's nice, that's useful, but is it enough? We could do with some more donations there, as teleporters are gone. Qatal's commander is trapped with this colonel. The Praetorian putting in some work, losing some health. Could it go? It goes!
There goes Qatal. That was very close as well. She'd almost whittled that force down away enough to survive, but alas, there she goes. She bows out with an I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. You did good, Qatal. You did good. Unfortunately,
there's so many last-minute rush donations there by the viewers. As soon as they saw she was in peril, they were like, no, how dare you, throwing down landmines, boombots, imperators, but it just wasn't enough. Nimzo had the force there, he had a large force, and he was able to just push through despite everyone's best efforts and wipe Qatal out of the game. As far as I can see, that now means that Nimzo is going to be able to lock this planet down in its entirety, because
big time.
Because that son of a broom is over on that one with the laser, and he is not paying much attention to anything that's going on square one at all.
So just got 40 Phoenix. 40 Phoenix. That's a lot of donation right there, right?
Nimzo has got a very generous donor somewhere in the ranks, or some very deep pockets, one of the two.
As I was going to say, it sounds like it's something that he would do, right? Is it?
Oh, the poor guy. We haven't made this insinuation against anybody else. Nimzo, more advanced power on square one. That'll help him out massively, because that is where he's struggling right now, is with his power generation.
But the biggest problem for Nimzo is off-world. He doesn't really have much elsewhere. He has some on That's No Moon, if I recall. But looking at that, the one with the laser, the Suzuks here, for that son of a broom, could be the next thing to watch. We're up to 11 now. That is certainly Commander Snipe territory, if there is a lack of orbital defense there. Moving over to That's No Moon, Nimzo really has expanded over here. He needs to do some more, but he has it to himself. And he's got a colonel over there, so he can just build some infrastructure, build some resources, build some factories to build fabricators, to assist the factory to build fabricators, and that'll just boost him and boost him and boost him, and then he can rush out some nukes if he wants in the next part of this game. Lastly, though, hello neighbour, Senescence is over here and still uncontested. That son of a broom looking shaky there.
Interesting looking in the chat. We've got Nick, one of our competitors in the chat, saying that all of Icarus is boosting Nimzo. So he doesn't have a single benevolent donor. He has multiple people donating to him in this chat. If you are watching this stream and you think that is bloody unfair, there are 6,000 people watching this stream right now. Some of you, get your wallets out, support the underdogs. At the moment, that son of a broom very much looking like he is on the back foot here. Yes, he has a sizable orbital force over on the one with the laser, but looking at the economy, looking at the units in play, he is the one in the most peril here. If you can keep that son of a broom alive, he is on the planet, which is the one that can be turned into a gigantic interplanetary Death Star. This is the man who could be building space lasers. So he's the one to keep in play.
Indeed, and in 5 minutes' time, our Game Enders for Big Spenders will be enabled. If you donate 5 catalyst nodes, just 5, to that son of a broom on that one with the laser, he instantly can win the game and wipe everyone else out with the laser. He can just zap one planet, zap the next one, and zap the last. Seriously, it'll be some fireworks. And it doesn't cost a huge amount, actually, for the amount of power that the laser gives you. I think it's a very good deal that we are giving our viewers today. Discounted catalysts for your viewing pleasure.
Effectively, if you can give someone 5 catalysts, or if you can group together with other viewers to donate 5 catalysts, you're effectively giving somebody the game.
Oh, we've got that son of a broom has just been given 5 kernels on That's No Moon to kickstart a base enclave there, and he's doing just that, going straight into an air factory, probably following up with maybe a ground factory, or is he just going to assist out some more units there? Not necessarily the most efficient use of these units, because they will build those hummingbirds so fast, and again, we've spoken about it before, the build speed on all of these is just so useful, but Senescence... What happened there?
No way! What happened there?
That looks like a Suzuki snipe from that son of a broom. That son of a broom, wow.
Let's
He's
get
gone.
That in chronocam.
I'm chronocamming that straight away. Into the orbital layer they go. Suzuki's right above that commander, into the base. Senescence's commander next to the teleporter, ready to run away. He sees them incoming, and they just move over and they zap him away. And he's gone.
Boom, and the commander's gone.
Bang, and the dirt is gone if blue is your dirt.
That sounds like
a
definite trademark there. We definitely don't want to be promoting individual products or brands on the stream, do we?
I'm so sorry. Bang and the grime is gone.
That'll do. So, having said that son of a broom is the one to donate for in this game, he's actually proved a little more dangerous than perhaps I gave him credit for. He is, after all, claiming to be the coach of Planetary Annihilation, and he certainly just schooled Senescence there in why you should protect your commander throughout the game, especially when there is orbital in play.
But that planet, as we can see now, there is nothing left on there. It is up for grabs. Nimzo could run there. That son of a broom could run there. They could have units donated to them by you guys to get there. And there's the neighbour right there. That's how close those planets are orbiting. Oof. It's a bit ominous, wouldn't you agree?
I'm not sure I'd like my neighbours that close to me, to be honest, Marshall.
No, I like to have a bit of a distance. I mean, you can only just about fit a hedge in there, and ideally you want a bit of a garden as well as a hedge.
Unfortunately, those donated kernels over on That's No Moon, for that son of a broom, have come under some fire from the sniper bots of Nimzo Dragonlord. He hasn't actually queued them onto them. He's got them on a global planet patrol, and it looks like they've just kind of accidentally wandered into this incursion by that son of a broom. That son of a broom clearly was busy looking at other things around the solar system, and they've just kind of been left there, hiding in a crater, really, trying to shelter themselves from this incoming sniper fire. But they're only going to hold out for so long. They're gradually getting picked off, and I think that's the last kernel there going to fall to the sniper bots of Nimzo.
Yeah, he's doing quite a bit of work to try and find out where Nimzo is. You can see here, where was it that he moved that unit to? I saw it a second ago. He had moved an orbital radar. I think he's moving it away. There we go. He did move that orbital radar back to that one with the laser to try and have a scout around. Now he's moving it back to square one. Again, to see if he can find out where Nimzo is.
It's interesting at this point, bearing in mind the orbital threat that Broom poses, if we take a step back and look at things from his perspective, because he's now trying to figure out where Nimzo's commander is. And if you're looking at this purely based on what he can see in the orbital layer, he can see a lot of stuff directly above where Nimzo's commander is. And this is actually, he has just dropped an intelligence gathering satellite. He has actually dropped it slightly too far away and can't see.
Oh, he can see that commander. He did just about see it. and then he runs it away. And now it's a case of, do we see the Suzuks moving as well?
What's he going to follow that up with? So he's got
a lot
more
of orbital fabs.
units moving in, So what he's just done, he's definitely seen that commander, because I've actually looked in the orbital layers, pulled that intelligence gathering satellite away, having seen what he needs to see. So now we're seeing the attack follow up, a counter attack in fact, from Nimzo, following that laser back across to... Where are those going, in fact? I think they're going over to the Hello Neighbor.
Ooh, Nimzo's got some nukes on square one. But it looks like Nimzo... Is he going to Hello Neighbor? I think he is, you're right. It looks like it. Or
Well,
no.
that's a nuclear missile donation. We must be in Game Enders for Big Spenders territory. Yes, we are. We're past the 25-minute mark. That is the point at which you, the viewers, can look towards the bottom of the menu and see the Game Enders for Big Spenders. Who do you want to win this orbital fight, this slug match, which is about to unfold? Nimzo, the man with the golden friends, submitting donations left, right and Charlie, or do you want that son of a broom, self-confessed PA coach, Sizzix sniper in chief?
Sizzix sniper in chief. Let's have a look though at that one with the laser. Loads of Nimzo's air units have just arrived. They're having a look around, they're having a nose, and they might well see that son of a broom's no, he hasn't, because he was donated a comet. He just got through that teleporter, so his commander is not there anymore. It is on Hello Neighbor. Whoever donated that comet just gave that son of a broom the escape he needed, because Nimzo was just given a nuke. Had he seen that commander, he would have launched that nuke straight away. And in fact, we can already see a nuke coming.
Orbit.
Nuke is in orbit, and it's going there anyway, because it sees a base, and it sees a base with no anti-nukes and a lot of orbital production above it. Nimzo could take out this entire threat like that.
I think that is what we're about to see here. That son of a broom sees the nuclear missile in orbit, quickly gets as many units away from the likely site of impact as soon as possible. That nuke now about to enter the atmosphere, directly above the base, right in the middle there. It's aiming for the teleporter, and it's going to take out all of this energy production.
Absolutely
that is catastrophic.
Ludicrous.
That is absolutely... He's left a lot of the... Unfortunately enough, actually, for that son of a broom, he's left all of the orbital factories intact, but I very much doubt he's going to have the power to continue building with them.
What needs to happen now is Nimzo needs to start thinking about proper invasion tactics. We can see a Helios above Nimzo's base. Does he have a sufficient ground army to really send through it, though? He does have quite a few units, and in the top left, his army count far outstrips that of that son of a broom. If Nimzo finds that son of a broom is probably gonna be dead. Unless he gets some of your donations, folks. We're in Game Enders for Big Spenders time. Click the links down below my Twitch window. Get the menu up, go to our donation page, which will be linked in chat, presumably, by some of our other players and our moderators. Get donating some Titans, get donating some Halley engines, get donating some Catalyst control nodes to Nimzo if you want him to win, or to that son of a broom. Likewise, if you want him to win. That son of a broom, however, has killed 2 commanders this game. Nimzo hasn't quite killed anything yet.
That said, though, looking at the economies, though, Marshall, Nimzo has got 2,000 metal in play, whereas that son of a broom has only 600 or 800, depending on which second you look at it. That son of a broom very much... Oh wow, we've got some Sizzix now appearing over that son of a... over Nimzo's base, over on That's No Moon. Still stationary for now, taking out Tier 2 air. There is a support commander, a colonel there, but Nimzo's commander is not far away at all.
That son of a broom just got 3 nukes on Hello Neighbor, and these Suzuks are near this commander. They could take out this anti-nuke, at which point that son of a broom could launch those nukes. The commander runs away, he senses danger, he legs it.
And that's interesting. Was that a catalyst I just saw being donated?
No, I think it went to... I don't know.
I saw something large and Game Ender appear in my feed just there. 3 nukes, yes.
We like those.
We like nukes.
The Nimzo has run back to his original base. The Helios is in orbit and on its way. Nukes glitched, says That's No Broom. Oh, that's a cheeky way to try and get some more,
here it is.
Isn't
It's on. That's No Moon. 2 Halleys. 2 large interplanetary engines. 5 are needed to launch this planet. We have got 2 so far. 3 more Halleys on That's No Moon, and Nimzo can send it hurtling through space and
Look at it. He's
slamming.
building it up with his fabbers. Look how fast he's building that. He's using that 2,000 metal. He's spending all of it. Those numbers are green.
That son of a broom needs to use those nukes desperately. They're in danger. We've just had an invasion force come through from Nimzo directly near those nukes. That son of a broom needs to launch those nukes now before they get destroyed. He needs to launch them towards That's No Moons. Take out those Halleys desperately. They're empty. He's actually already fired them off.
That son of a broom gets one Thor on That's No Moon. The Thor sits next to the Halleys. Whoever donated that is a game saver. Look at what is Nimzo doing? He's reclaiming that Thor. I haven't seen anything quite so ludicrous in my
There's
life.
no anti-air in that Thor. There's nothing he can do about it. He's just slowly being reclaimed by the
Nimzo is
fabricators.
biting off more than he can chew. All of a sudden, he's floating his metal income because he's just chewing so much metal from this Thor, and it's just running away from those air fabs. They
He's
can't
managing
quite
to
keep
outpace
up.
them, thankfully. As soon as he stops, he gets reclaimed. He needs to keep it moving. He needs to keep that Thor moving, or it's going to get reclaimed to death by fabricators.
I don't believe
How
this.
very embarrassing. Come on, that son of a broom. Get that Thor moving.
And he
There's no way
Oh.
he's getting taken out by fabricators. He is. There it goes. And they're still reclaiming it. Oh, that's absolutely outrageous. And he's
Oh
going
my
straight back to building those Halleys. Viewers, give that son of a broom some help. He desperately, desperately needs it right now.
Oh, Suzuk's inbound. Suzuk's inbound. They are inbound to where? Looks like they're going back to the one with the laser of all places. I would have sent them to the stage to try and get rid of things, or even to That's No Moon, because there isn't any
Nuke
anti-orbital
launched.
around there.
Nuke has just been launched by Nimzo. It is in the orbital layer.
Aha! Where could that be to? That looks like it's to Hello Neighbor. What can Nimzo see on there? Let's have a look. Probably not a lot, I would have wagered. You can't see a huge... It can't be to Hello Neighbor. There's no point.
There's no way he's
No,
blind
he's
nukes.
not.
Another
He-
commander
what?
move. Commander has just arrived. That is Nimzo's commander has just arrived back on square one, where he's protected by a significant orbital and anti-orbital presence. He's sat under the warm embrace of
That
anti-nukes.
son of
What
a
have you
broom's
seen?
commander is sat there alone. Could that be what Nimzo's nuke is trying to kill off? Oh, he did see it, but the commander's run away.
Oh my
That was
goodness.
close. That son of a broom is in peril. Nimzo chasing through space. That son of a broom, though, needs... Ooh, look at these 3 planets align. 4 planets aligning. That was nice. But that son of a... That's No Moon. We've got our 4th Halley almost up. That son of a broom needs some Halleys of his own. Or the catalysts on the metal planet. Quick. Fast,
It's
folks.
That's 5 Halleys. No, it's not correct. That's 4 Halleys built. One of them is actually an air factory, not a Halley. I thought that was another
Casters
Halley there.
are not known for their mathematical abilities.
Clearly.
Disclaimer. There we go. That son of a
broom
broom
is
gets another.
Phoenix.
Gets Phoenix. That's oh,
One Phoenix.
one Phoenix.
I think there may have been a misclick by our puppet masters.
Hey, here we go. 10 coming.
What were we actually going for?
A Zeus. A
It's
Zeus.
a
That's
Zeus!
enough. That's enough. He'll take out
Is
those
it?
fabs.
Is it enough?
Well, it should be if he survives, because Nimzo
He's going
can
to take out
launch
one of
it.
those Halleys. El Pronto, he's got a very limited time to do it. And the Phoenix have picked him off. Is he going to crash on top of them, though? But it didn't kill it. They're still going.
He didn't
the
kill
moon
it,
is
but
still in
that
motion.
planet slingshotting round the metal planet, and it's off, and it's away, and it's to Hello Neighbor.
10 Phoenixes now. Little too late to save that poor Zeus. That's No Moo. Guys, you've got a couple of seconds. More donations, please. Here we go. What have we got now? It's a
Here we go.
It's a Ragnarok.
It's and look at it! He doesn't have any anti-ground units. He doesn't.
He's got
Is
enough.
60 seconds
he's got
enough?
level up. This is going to be so close.
It's gonna be so very close.
Oh, no,
Is
he's got
60
it.
seconds?
It was just
Oh, he's
about
got a
pulled it off.
couple of units there. A couple of units, and it's all it took. The Halleys still survive despite all of
These
your
donations
efforts.
are absolutely insane, folks. I think we've run out of time. That's No Moon about to slam into Hello Neighbor.
And it's
That
gone.
son of a broom has been annihilated. 2 games, twice as many Planet Smashes. What an amazing tournament this has been so far, Marshall.
This really is turning out to be our best AbleGamers tournament that we have ever done. Folks, all 100% of your donations in this tournament go to the AbleGamers charity.